Hello and welcome to Professor Penn's Pony Perusal program, and I'm your host, Professor Penn. Today we'll be looking at episode 8 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, entitled Look Before You Sleep. Now, as you may recall, it's a Pegasi's job in order to control the weather. Now, because of this, you might be thinking to yourself, well, does that mean they never have bad weather? Well, allow Applejack to explain.
They accidentally skipped a scheduled sprinkle last week, so we need a doozy of a downpour to make up for it is all.
Oh no! My wonderfully styled mane shall be ruined! It's coming down too fast!
And we even get to see Rarity try to dodge rain. Okay, so the premise for this one's pretty simple, so let's just get it over with. Applejack and Rarity find themselves caught in the rain and need some shelter. Twilight sees them and invites them inside. And Applejack asks would any reasonable pony would.
Whoa, Nelly. Is inside a tree really the best place to be in a lightning storm?
It is if you have a magical lightning rod protecting your home like I do.
Oh, so many things done right with this scene. It simultaneously addresses the problem of seeking shelter in a tree, while also addressing it how dangerous such an act is. The plot point is then resolved without undermining the dangers. Okay, now we're going to do things a bit differently today. Let's just quickly go over the plot. Twilight, who has never had a slumber party before, is very excited to have the girls over. Despite Rarity and Applejack not getting along very well, they decide to play nice for Twilight's sake. And that's basically all the plot we have for this episode. Because instead they focus on developing the character of these three ponies. Perhaps more importantly, it focuses only on these three. You see, there's an unwritten rule that every single member of the main cast must make at least one appearance per episode. Even if it's just a token appearance, such as Applejack and Rarity appearing in Griffin the Brush-Off. This, however, sets the precedence that not every single pony has to appear in every single episode. Now, as you may recall, Twilight's still a bit inexperienced at the whole friendship thing. Luckily, she has a book on it.
Slumber 101. All you've ever wanted to know about slumber parties but were afraid to ask.
And for the record, I'm simply choosing not to explain the title of that book, which for some reason is located in the middle of it. Huh. The important thing is it's a very interesting justification for all the usual slumber party tropes. These tropes are used to great effect to contrast Rarity and Applejack, such as how Rarity is very careful when she assembles a s'more, while Applejack just scarfs it down.
You could at least say excuse me. Oh, I was just about to, but you interrupted me. Pardon.
And it's quite clear that the makeovers were just plain uncomfortable for Applejack, though we have much more aggression once we get to Truth or Dare. I do feel that Twilight was maybe a bit too naive towards their open hostility, however, thinking it was just them not understanding the proper way to play the game. They of course do get to some actual dares, but personally I wonder why Twilight has that dress laying around. And then we get to enjoy a good old-fashioned pillow fight.
Oh! It is on!
One that most likely became very one-sided once Rarity remembered she has telekinesis. But somehow Twilight's the one that gets the worst of it. Things just continue on like this, and eventually even Twilight realizes that they're fighting. This doesn't stop their fight, of course. Instead, they just start blaming one another.
I've been trying my darndest to get along.
No, it is I who have been trying mine.
Neither pony realizing their mistake until lightning strikes a tree. Applejack claiming this is why they need to trim the loose branches, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. They're removing loose branches, not trimming off the tops of trees. The real reason it is was so that Rarity would share some of the blame when Applejack pulls it through the window. Though perhaps that's why Applejack is the bigger pony here and apologizes.
I'm sorry, alright? What was that? I said I'm sorry! I should have listened to you when you noticed where this here branch would end up. Your annoying attention to detail would have saved us from this whole mess. But right now, you need to stop being so dang fussy, picking up all those little things, and help me move the one big thing in here that actually matters.
To be honest, initially I didn't understand what exactly Applejack's lesson was supposed to be. Rarity's problem with her was her tendency to be untidy, but this problem was caused by Applejack rushing ahead without listening to her friends first, which I like to remind every pony isn't the first time. So hey, at least some consistency. But then I remembered this part. Now you might be asking yourself, why is this scene so significant? It's because Applejack's real lesson is about being considerate to others. You see, Applejack doesn't care about doing things properly. However, Rarity does. So this is about Applejack being more sensitive to how others want things to be done. And of course we have Twilight, who is trying her hardest to have a successful slumber party. And to her credit, Twilight tells a really good ghost story. What I like best is how utterly nonchalant she is after scaring the crap out of the other two. You see, Twilight is so organized and logical that she feels that as long as she meets all the requirements listed in a book, her slumber party will be a success. Now, how far does she take this, you might ask? Remember when Applejack pulled the tree branch in through the window? Well, this was Twilight's reaction.
It's not okay. There's a giant tree branch in the middle of my bedroom. And the book doesn't say anything about having a giant tree branch at your slumber party. Or at least I haven't found that entry yet.
She's naive to the point that she feels the need to check her book to make sure that this is not proper slumber party procedure.
Well, they do have a section about backyard slumber parties. Is that what we're doing right now? Does this count as camping?
While Rarity and Applejack's arcs were about them learning to get along with one another, Twilight's on the other hoof was about delving more into her character. Naive, bookish, and very enthusiastic. And of course, organized.
Who's up for another slumber party tomorrow night? How about a week from Thursday? Oh, how about 2 weeks from Saturday? A month from now?
And of course, at the end, they're all good friends. Though admittedly, this might be a bit...
Hey, what are you doing in my house?
Oh, hi, Twilight. Well, you see, I need a place to do my reviews, and you weren't around, so, Oh, hey, did you finally get those slumber parties scheduled?
Of course. I have my slumber parties planned for the next 2 years.
What, seriously? Isn't that a little anal retention?
Get out of my house!
Right. So, join us for the next Professor Penn's Pony Perusal program. Probably.
I am not messing up the covers. Sliding in so as not to wrinkle all the sheets, making sure the quilt stays nice and clean. Have you ever seen a bed so neat? I'm getting into bed. Well, sleep, sleep, sleep. Time to go to sleep now. It is night, and I need to sleep while it is dark. I'm really tired, time for sleep now. Tired, tired, tired. Sleep, sleep, sleep. I'm getting into bed.
Well, I don't care much for covers. Biscuits and gravy!